We are here. Fall, Halloween, and another episode of the Lockbox presented to you by the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and real estate team, right here in beautiful, sunny Arizona. I'm Jason Grandon, your host for the Lockbox. My sister Stacey, who's not on the show, but she handles our northern division: Prescott, Sedona, Flagstaff, Camp Verde, Prescott Valley, basically anything north of Black Canyon City. And I handle Phoenix, Paradise Valley, Scottsdale, Chandler, Queen Creek, Payson, basically everything kind of southern, I guess, or mid. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Lockbox, and welcome to fall. For many of you, we started fall September 1st with our Pumpkin Spice Realty. And so for us here in Phoenix, Arizona, who are still battling 112, 113 degrees, which is ridiculous. Last week we had a day that was just absolutely perfect, like 82, I think. And then all of a sudden we've had 10 days of just heat. And we still got another week of it to go. But anyway you cut it, we are in pumpkin spice season. So why not talk about how the world collectively goes mad for all things pumpkin spice right around September, October, whether it's lattes, candles, or even dog treats. There is no escaping the orange-hued frenzy that started probably around September 1st. But why not call us Pumpkin Spice Realty, where fall just isn't a season, it is a lifestyle. All right, let's get to it. What does fall... Well, first of all, let me tell you, the Arizona market is still hot. Yes, we are up against election season, and it has been slow. We've got a lot of people looking, nobody pulling the trigger right now, worried about election season. So let me tell you, I understand your thought process on that, but the fact of the matter is, the day after election, you're either going to rent, you're going to buy, you're going to need to sell, or do something real estate wise. I don't know why you're waiting. It's not going to be like a magical antidote for whoever wins. Life is going to go on, and we're going to still move forward, and the real estate market is going to still be happening. Now, with that said, there are candidates that are better for real estate than the others. Those are the ones you want to vote for, whether you like them or not. You've got to do it. I also go kind of with the whole idea that, not to throw religion into this or anything like that, but, the one that most aligns with the Bible and God and the Word of God, that's your candidate. Now, nobody's perfect by any means. And but anyway, so for those of you that are having trouble wondering who to vote for and stuff like that, those are the kind of things you want to look for. Who's best for you? Who's going to get you what you need? And who most aligns with the Word of God. So that's easy. Now, for those of you that don't know, I am a precinct committeeman and a state committeeman here in Arizona, so I can certainly fill you in on things. So anything you need, let me know. But I am a huge advocate of, making sure people have the opportunity to get home ownership. And I'm not talking about giving people stuff, because I'll tell you what, the houses I've owned, I've worked for it. My parents worked for it. I know those of you listening, your parents and you have worked super hard to be able to afford a house. So giving free stuff away so people can own a home is not my idea of home ownership. Plus, there's a certain amount of pride when you work for it compared to being given it. Which kind of brings me to an example. In college, I had this one class I could not get through. My parents paid my way through college, and there was one class I couldn't get through. And so my dad was like, you know what? I'm done paying for it. I'm not paying for it. You need to graduate with it. You pay for it. Well, anyways, I was not happy about that. But guess what? I paid for it, and I got a B in it. I worked my butt off. But you know why I did that? Because it was my money. And that's a whole different story when someone just hands you something. Sometimes we tend to appreciate things a little bit more. So, we are here right at the end of September. Fall has begun in Arizona for many parts of the state. Not here in Phoenix and stuff. It's still hot. It's still 90 degrees at 10 o'clock at night. So, but for the most part, mornings are cooler, evenings are crisp, and the afternoons still remind you that you're in the desert. But there is that whiff of pumpkin spice, and it begins all things fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and then on to the holidays and beyond. And what a better way to embrace the season of gratitude and celebration than by investing in the American dream. And we all know what that is: home ownership. All right, so we're going to talk about Phoenix, fall in Phoenix, okay? So the leaves do not, well, they might change. They might just die off and fall to the ground because it's so hot. But listen, there's some parts of Arizona within an hour that have the classic fall foliage. Prescott, Flagstaff. You know, you can go up there and spend the weekends and you'll kind of get a really taste of fall. But, you know, right now we're starting to see pumpkin spice front porches, haunted Halloween setups. And it's the time of year that we transform our homes into fall wonderlands. And let's be honest, there is something uniquely charming about having a hot chocolate or a pumpkin spice latte on your front porch while it's a cool 85 degrees outside with your feet in the pool. I mean, let's face it, it's a tradition. In Florida, they hang Christmas trees up with lights and it's still, you know, 90 degrees and humid. So what should be any different about Arizona? But with that said, fall is the perfect time to consider selling or buying your home. Now, a couple weeks ago, we did an episode on why fall is a great time to sell. And listen, school's already back in. People are starting right now to mentally prepare for the holidays and Thanksgiving and stuff, and they're wanting to get this stuff situated. So if you're thinking about selling, it is a good time to sell. But listen, the market is still a little bit here in Phoenix a buyer's market, which means if you think your house is worth $500,000, but your realtor or the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, says maybe $450,000, you got to still price it right now. There's enough on the market where you have to price your home right to sell it. There are those few exceptions where the houses just go because of the location they're in. But it is a time to start thinking about the holidays, and people want to get settled in, so it's a great time to sell. Buyers, what a better time to buy. You buy here at the beginning of October, you're in by Halloween or even Thanksgiving, and what a great way to start family traditions. And that's one of the things that kind of gets me. People buy houses these days, and this is kind of what we see. We see people buy houses, and every couple of years they want to sell. Now, I do remember growing up, you know, in the 70s and 80s, and before. So specifically probably pre-90s or pre-2000s, people would buy a house, and it was their lifelong home. You know, my parents bought a place over here in Scottsdale back in the 70s, and growing up, and we just sold it 2 years ago. So they had it for over 50 years. And you know what? The traditions and memories that are created in owning a home like that, it's something you can't even really describe. It's unbelievable. And these days, yeah, you create traditions and family stuff, but then you move and you're like, oh, you used to live in that house. There's just something about the marks on the wall as you're growing, riding the horses in the backfield, just some different things that create memories. And I'd love to see it get back to that one of these days where people buy a house, love it, take care of it, and just grow some amazing families. But, you know, everyone's after the dollar as well. And if you're going to, if you want to create generational wealth, real estate's the way to go. I mean, that's, you know, the odds of you becoming a basketball player or NFL star are probably slim to none. But everybody gets wealthy if you play the real estate game correctly. We're here to guide you on that. So, a couple weeks ago, we had, and these are the kind of stories we like. A couple weeks ago, a kid, 19, almost 19, he wanted to buy a house. Well, he doesn't have 2 years work experience, but he's been saving up money, so he's saving money. So his parents helped him buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, brand new build, in an area here in North Phoenix where grand opening, so it's brand new. It's bottom floor of the community is brand new. So he buys his house, $600,000, and he gets 2 roommates. So between him and the 2 roommates, it's covering the mortgage. And there's some great rates on brand new builds. So they cover the mortgage. Now, the plan is, which we sat down and talked about, 2 years. They'll live in this house, maybe 2.5, 3 years. This will put him at 21, 22 years old by this time. Let's say 22. He will sell this house, pick up the equity because there will be equity in it. He'll buy another house. Now, if he has a girlfriend or something like that, he'll live with, whatever the case is, but he'll have a couple more roommates. Another 2 years puts him at 24, 25. He'll have that house, but he'll keep that house and rent it. He'll buy another house that he's going to live in for probably, let's just say, 10 years. And so now he has an income property. He's got a property he's paying for with no problems. And then at some point, let's say he gets married, maybe they move out of that house, either rent it or they sell both of them. But he is now a millionaire. It is not hard to do if you've got the patience and the fortitude to want to do this. And it takes some good guidance. Have a good time along the way, but it takes some good guidance. And let me tell you about young kids buying homes. If they're investing in it on their own, they're going to have one party in their house, maybe two. They're going to have their friends over one night. And after that, they're going to be like, you know what? Screw this. I don't want them messing up the house. You guys, I'll meet you at a restaurant, or if you guys come over, you're going to help me clean. It teaches a massive amount of responsibility. And then especially when they get that electric bill in the summer or in September, and they're like, wow, why is my electric bill still $400? Because it was so hot out, you had to keep it up. It teaches responsibility. It's a great way to move forward. So if you guys are thinking about getting your kids a house or you want to teach them responsibility, give us a call. The Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, and we will help teach them some responsibility. Okay, so the other thing, fall's the perfect time to buy the home. It's a mindset is what it comes down to for making one of the biggest investments of your life. So you look at your house and you're like, hey, we bought that house a year ago. My wife and I, we bought our house 7 years ago, 4th of July. And so every 4th of July, we know that, okay, this next year, and the memories that are created, it's fun. And it's an American dream. And the Grandon Group is able to provide you guides to the American dream. We believe that homeownership is more than just owning a property. It's about working hard to achieve an American dream. And just like perfect blends of spice in your favorite fall drink, we blend our expertise, dedication, and super important local knowledge to help you find a home of your dreams. So, whether you're putting up Halloween decorations, setting the table for Thanksgiving, there is no better feeling than knowing you have a place that's truly yours. So, that is kind of my little rant about the housing market, which is still very hot here in Arizona. But real quick, before we wrap up the podcast, let me tell you all about fall here in Arizona. And first of all, thank you, each and every one of you and all the new people, for making the Lockbox Arizona's #1 rated podcast and lifestyle podcast. We just named that by a couple of the sites, and so incredibly proud, incredibly honored, and we think this is just great. So, fall in Arizona, farmers markets start, and there are some killer farmers markets. And listen, jump in the car and head up north. Flagstaff, Prescott, they've got some great ones. The pumpkins are out. You got zucchini, you got the squash, corn. It's just, there's nothing better than farm fresh food. And then, if you want to take a 5-hour ride up to the Four Corners up around Durango, Colorado, they've got some great farmers markets and stuff too. But Arizona has so much to offer. You can get out there. Also, Cars and Coffee starts first Saturdays, and they've got car shows all the time. Farmers markets, all the events. Boo at the Zoo, Zoo Lights, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. There's a place called Canatopia that's coming out. There is so much stuff going on. It's like nonstop from now through the end of April, and then before we can slow down. Sports teams are playing. Football's going on, which Cardinals aren't doing much, but they're still here. Colleges are just going on. Downtown is just busy. We've been going into, I call it downtown now, but it's actually, you got Old Town Scottsdale, and then we've got Newtown Scottsdale, which is kind of Kierland in the quarter area. People are out. They want to be out here, and even though it's 108 and stuff, they want to be out shopping. We are ready for fall. So, with that said, remember, it's ready to spice up your life. As you sip on that first pumpkin spice latte this season, if you haven't already started, or you start planning your fall festivities, remember, it's the perfect time to think about making Arizona your home. Because much like pumpkin spice, home ownership never goes out of style. Okay, we've got some great topics as we head into fall and winter and the holidays, and it's going to get fun. Our annual Ghost Stories podcast should be probably in the next 2 weeks, so we'll have another one up next week on who knows. I think we've got to talk to you guys about some important things in the house, like kitchens and garages and things that really sell homes. But I want to fill you in on the things going on in Arizona. Oh, real quick, people are out paddleboarding right now. So, rest of the country is getting ready to throw on their big thick coats. Here in Arizona, Saguaro Lake this weekend and Tempe Town Lake. If you go down there and it's 8:30 in the morning, there's going to be probably 20 or 30 people out there on paddleboards, shorts, no shirt, and stuff like that. It's a blast. Arizona is a place where people want to just get out and do stuff. Great place to call home. Listen, no big natural disasters. The only natural disaster we really have is you might turn to dust if it gets too hot. Other than that, jump in the water, hit that ceiling fan, and you're off to the races. But with that said, I wanted to be the first one to welcome you to fall. We are officially here. If you haven't already started, we're officially here. We are on to Halloween, then Thanksgiving, and then, of course, Christmas. I'm Jason Grandon with the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. Call us for any of your real estate needs. Check out our website, thegrandongroup.com. We're also on Instagram. I hate Facebook, but we are on there. But Instagram, Twitter, True Social, and then YouTube. And we have more live TV stuff coming out as well. So, hey, we're looking forward to meeting you guys. Call us with any questions, and we will get you hooked up. Okay, Grandon Group is your official Pumpkin Spice Real Estate Group. You guys have a good one. We'll talk to you in the next episode. And thanks again.